Yo, 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 it's your boy, Big Mike Raider. We're here in the building, man. Thanks for popping in. Before we get into the topics, let's start the show the right way, man. Let's go.
We're going with the guys that put in the time and commitment to do what we want to do over the next 6 months. And that's just do one thing and one thing only, win. And I want winners. Winners never stop working. Kick in the front door. Let's get this bad boy rolling.
This is one of them hits now. Heard back from Earth, we just shot a few of my shits down. It's safe to say I'm totally pissed. Wow, my cloaking device is just malfunction. Guess it's time for a sit down. This is the problem I got with humans, mostly the common man. Constantly fucking with energy they don't understand. Always thinking they got the upper hand. The G-forces from my maneuvers can snap your spine like a rubber band. I shouldn't waste my time, they ain't half as nice. Put a Red Bull in your coffin so your ghost can have wings in the afterlife. Let's rock and roll like a belly dancer's rhinestone. It was my idea to shake the pineal gland like a pine cone. My thoughts create hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones. A punch for me is like an avalanche of granite and limestone. You live here, now this is my home. I neuralize both your retinas, you wake up staring at the screen of your iPhone. Confused by the light plus the high tone. And now we connected from the microchip I placed next to your thigh bone. It's hard to understand cause your mind blown, but I gotta cut communication. Your government just scramble they spy drones.
Cowboys speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in human history.
I can't explain it.
Yo, 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 it's your boy, Big Mike Raider. Thanks for popping in, man. Just getting off of work, heading on that commute. You are riding with Big Mike, episode 3. We're going to talk about it, man. We got some things to talk about. We're going to do a little bit of a preview against the Cowboys. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Offense seems to be gelling at the right times. Should we be excited? Is it too much? What do you think, man? We're going to get into that, man. I just read something right now before I popped on, man, that Max Crosby was being held out of practice because he was disrupting the timing of the offense. What do you guys think about that one? We'll get into it. But first, guys, check out menoforder.com. I got to do it. I got to do my shameless plug before we get started, man. Apex and Flow gets me right throughout the day. Apex for testosterone support and strength support, cognitive support, man. Get right on menoforder.com. Go check it out for all my people trying to make that comeback, mind, body, and spirit, including the moon, which is the sleep support. Go ahead and check it out on menoforder.com. But guys, yesterday, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the practice that they had the practice at Allegiant Stadium. Packed the house. Everybody was excited. It was a hype house. The offense looked a lot better. Now, there are reports, people saying that, they were playing a little bit slower. But there was others that saying that the Aiden O'Connell looked better than he's looked pretty much all of camp. And I'm excited to hear it. I think that Aiden O'Connell is going to be the starter when it's all said and done. You guys, what do you think about that one? I think that Aiden O'Connell for sure is going to be the starter. The only way Aiden O'Connell won't be the starter is if he's he completely just shits the bed. It's at a tie right now. That's what they're saying. But I think that it's going to be an Aiden O'Connell show, regardless of if it's a tie or not. They're investing in their time in Aiden O'Connell. But before we talk a little bit more, man, let me get into some of the comments. Shout out to Huey P. Salute to you, man. He was in here since 3 o'clock, man. I appreciate you guys have been waiting. Sorry for the delay. Raider Ryan in the building. I haven't took off yet, so I'm staring at the screen. I'm waiting for my wife, actually. So Raider Ryan in the building. Raider Paul in the building. Raiders Primos, my guy, what's going on, man? Anthony in the building. Raiders Primos, can I get my flowers for saying Wilkerson will be wide receiver 4 when everyone was freaking out about Gallup retiring? Yeah, you said that. You did say that. I like Turner, man. Turner is another guy that you got to look out for too. He's been showing out too. Shout out to Daniel Kim. Shout out to Paul Edgerton. My guy from across the pond. Raiders Primo says Max Crosby will be a top 3 defensive end, and he won't be 3 or 2. That's what I think. At the end of the day, Mad Max is going to be Defensive Player of the Year, best defensive end in the NFL. I agree. The fact that he's like disrupting practice is crazy to me. They're like, dude, let the offense do what they need to do so we can get some kind of reps. That's crazy to me. I've never heard anything like that. Shout out to Daniel Kim. He says there were a couple of highlights. We saw defensive guys pull up on plays so the offense could get thrown downfield. Yeah. So to me, it was more of like, that isn't a coincidence that the offense had their best day in this situation. At the end of the day, you know, they're selling, they're giving out tickets for people to show up at these practices. Now, you know, with that situation, you're like, okay, we got to put on a show and got to give hope to the nation as well. So how much hope would you have if you saw that the offense was getting destroyed by the defense all practice? Not saying that the offense can't hold their own to a certain degree, but we've heard all camp that, you know, the defense has been dominating the offense, at least on a day-by-day basis. The defense has been winning as a whole. So if we would have if you guys would have went there, the people who did show up and saw the same thing that's been reported, it might put a sour taste in your mouth. It might not make you feel so good about what the offense is bringing. So to a certain degree, it's good to hear that, like, okay, they did have a good practice. But my prediction for tonight's practice is that the defense is going to answer and they're going to put on a show themselves, man. What do you guys think about that one? Shout out to Top Beats in the building. Thanks for the showing the menoforder.com link. I appreciate that. Shout out to you, bro. Thanks for popping in. Jay Raider says more comfortable after Tate was endorsing AOC. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. And you know, I think that because Devontae is endorsing Aiden O'Connell, he's going to get the start. There's a lot of guys that want him to be that starter. And it has nothing to do with, you know, nothing against a Gardner Minshew. It's just, you know, this is a guy that's been around a little bit longer. He has more familiarity. Even though it's not much, he still has that familiarity, and they want to see him succeed with that one. Shout out to Raiders Primos. I think we have to account how Adams feels about the quarterback battle. Exactly. He said on the Shannon Sharp podcast, they advocates for Aiden because of what they both went through last year. Yeah, absolutely, man. Shout out to Mad Mike in the building. Martin's in the building. Top Beats, he goes, I think it makes far more sense only because Minshew is the vet. If Minshew starts and gets hurt, Aiden O'Connell will be in a disadvantage. But if AOC starts and gets hurt, Minshew has the experience to come in. And you can't lose with that kind of situation, right? You got two guys that are pretty much neck and neck, sharpening each other, getting sharpened by the defense as well. So if one person does go down, you don't really have too much fallout in production. So that's definitely a plus for us. That's something that we can say that we have like an advantage, right? That's definitely an advantage for us. Shout out to the legendary Sean Johnson in the building. Salute to you, man. Thanks for popping in. We got 3941 in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Shout out to Martin. He says Big Mike in Hammer's car. Yeah, he let me borrow it. I'm making a long drive from New Jersey to California. I'm just joking, y'all. But Martin's crazy, man. Not Hammer's car. This is my car. Shout out to Neanderthal Punk. New name there, man. Never seen you here, man, but thanks for popping in. Says agree, AOC's the starter. We'll be vicious with our weapons. Absolutely, man. I agree with you. Shout out to my guy Richie in the building. Bucks fans checking in. How y'all doing? Man, I'm doing good, bro. It's been a while. We got to get together, man, for sure. Shout out to Carlos in Fuego in the building. Says Big Mike Raiders, this defense is going to be fire. Yep. Tyree Wilson has to show more. Yeah, Tyree Wilson is definitely making me a little bit nervous about, you know, what he's bringing to the table. I was kind of hoping to see a little bit more with him. It's early. I don't want to panic too much, but with him, the get off is still not there. The explosiveness is still not there. His aggression doesn't match the body, I guess. And I just need to see a little bit more from him. And hopefully he figures it out this year. But, that leads to one thing that I do want to say is that I did read an article yesterday. It was heavy.com. Take that what you may, take it with a grain of salt, whether it's credible or not. But I felt like I said this before they dropped this article, is the Raiders should seek a trade for Tyree Wilson while he still has value. Now, we have Malcolm Kuntz who can start on the opposite side of Max Crosby, and we don't have to worry about trying to find that guy on the other side to kind of fill that role because we have a Malcolm Kuntz that can do that. And because we have that, to me, I think that Tyree Wilson is more expendable. And I think that, kind of getting something for him before people start figuring out that he's maybe not the guy that everybody was expecting him to be, I think that would be advantageous to the Raiders. I think that would probably be a good idea. But what do you guys think, man? Let me know if you would trade or seek a trade of Tyree Wilson for something. And if so, what would that be? What would that look like? I know maybe a first-round pick wouldn't be the thing. Second, third, you would hope. But I don't think we would even get that for it. But let me know what you guys think about it, man. Shout out to Raiders Primo's brother. Chokers are in trouble with this defense. Will the Chargers even get to 17 points week 1? Nope. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. They got a surprise coming up in a few weeks, man. Shout out to John B's in the building. Raiders Primos. In all seriousness, Aiden still in my mind on Saturday. Needs a good game to lock up the quarterback 1 spot. Yeah, we still need to see something impressive. Now, I was impressed by Aiden O'Connell in that first drive against the Vikings. I'm not going to lie to you. There was a couple of things that I saw that was pretty impressive. The fact that he was stepping up in the pocket, not necessarily a mobile guy, not a guy that you can rely on to take off, but more of a guy that, if there is some pressure, he's going to step up and manipulate that pocket. And he did just that, and he threw a shot to Jacoby Myers. I think he got about like 24 yards or something like that. But that was something I was impressed by with Aiden O'Connell on that first drive. Now, you would like to see him finish that drive and score, but the fact that he got down the field and at least got 3 from it was you still got to give him some credit. And I know that a lot of people are like, Minshew played better, but I think he just got more reps just based on the situations. Now, the Raiders started off on defense. They gave up a long drive. And then the Raiders, when they got the ball, O'Connell was on a long drive. So by the time it was up for the Raiders' next offensive possession, it was already the second quarter. So Aiden O'Connell had to sit because that's how it was set up. It was for quarter 1 was Aiden O'Connell, quarter 2 was Minshew. So because of that, Minshew got more looks and still looked impressive. But I think that if we see more from Aiden O'Connell, we would be just as impressed. But you guys let me know what you think about that. I'm gonna scroll down just a little bit because you guys, the comments are flying, man. Thanks for the support. We got 51 in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. If you guys are just popping in, Martin says Pete got beat. Yeah, he got beat bad on that one. He cost us that drive. That was an ugly sack that he gave. That he gave up right there, and that really took the air out of the offense for sure. Shout out to Lecky. What's up, Oos? What's going on, bro? Nate Dogg, he says, what's up, Big Mike? From what you've seen so far, you think O'Connell could become a top 15 quarterback for us in the career at some point? That's tough to say because, all right, here's the thing. I think that there's like 5 or 6 elite quarterbacks in the league right now. Outside of that, it kind of shuffles around. I think 1 or 2 good seasons I could see Aiden O'Connell being in that top 15. Now it's all going to depend on um, on what he does this season, what his numbers look like. But you know, at the end of the day, if he's just you know turnover, not turnover list because that's damn near impossible. But if he's more careful with the ball and more of a game manager, I'll take that over him making a top 15, be top 20, and reduce turnovers, and I'll be okay with that, man. Shout out to you, Nate Dogg. Thanks for the support. Let's see. Shout out to Nick209, AOC just win, baby. Loving the channel. Thanks for popping in, man. Thanks for the support. Let's see. Martin says, I thought Merrick looked really secure when called upon. Yeah, he did. I think out of pretty much all of our starters, I think that Merrick looked the strongest. So, yeah, it was. Would he have like 6 tackles? Yeah, he looked really good. I would say that the front 7. I know it was a vanilla right here.
I think we passed it.
Oh, we passed it. Oh, guys, by the way, my wife's in the car. She's joining the ride. So say hello to Mrs. Big Mike Raider in the building, man. We're going to the post office before we head home. Yeah, there you go. You can say something.
Hi, Tyree Raider Nation. Thank you for giving my my big man all your support, and I know we've been discussing something about doing a little giveaway for you loyal subscribers. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, definitely, man. We're definitely working some stuff with the giveaway and all that stuff. Where is it?
You passed. I told you it was right here. I was pointing at it, honey.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we're stopping at the. Is it this right here with the flag?
Right here.
Okay. No, I'm trying to put on a show. Shout out to you guys, man. I'm trying to find the post office and talk to you guys at the same time. I'm about to park for a second. But yeah, we got some things in store for you guys. Some giveaways that I want to do this season and some good stuff, man. But back to Trayvon Merrick. Babe, what do you think about Merrick? You saw that the beginning of the game where he was playing. He was number 7. What did you think about him? She was watching the game with me.
If I remember correctly, he looked solid. If I remember,
yeah,
he looked absolutely solid. He actually stood out because I usually it's hard for me to follow the players because they move so quickly. But
yeah,
he made his plays, and I was like, oh, okay, I think he's ready.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought that he was everywhere on the field. He made a big impact. He made tackles down the field. Now you would hope to have those front 7 guys make the tackles, but the fact that he was there making the tackles is better than nobody making the tackles. So yeah, I was definitely impressed by him. But yeah, so yeah, that was pretty much what I was impressed by the game. Another guy that really stuck out to me, and I want to see a lot more, is DJ Glaze. DJ Glaze is one of those guys that I think might be taking that starting right tackle spot. And I say that because, you do see Thayer Munford, he's getting a lot of injuries, little nicks here and there. Yeah, one hand injury, and now he's dealing with another hand injury. And that's giving more reps to DJ Glaze. And every time Glaze gets in on the field, he's taking advantage of those reps. He's making the most out of them. And I think after some point, he's going to keep making the most out of those reps. It's going to be hard to deny him keeping that starting spot. I think that DJ Glaze at some point is going to be hoisted, I wouldn't say above. Yeah, you know what? Forget it, man. I think that DJ Glaze, by the time the season starts, he's going to be the one. He's going to be our right tackle, and he's going to be our right tackle of the future. Just give him some development and time, and him kind of getting used to this offense, and I think he's going to do very well, man. Paul Edgerton, so pleased Jacorian Bennett had a big play. Hopefully the extra confidence will see him shine. Yeah, absolutely, man. I think Jacorian Bennett, he was definitely impressive. Definitely prevented that score on that last play on that first drive. I think he looked comfortable. There's some confidence. He's carrying himself with a swagger that we didn't see from him last year. And I think that this is kind of his rookie year times two. He's relearning how to be a professional in a situation in a setting where it's a lot better than it was last year. So I'm excited with Jacorian Bennett. I think he's going to have a really good season, especially on the opposite side of Jack Jones. And Jack Jones, by the way, I mean, come on. This guy seems like an all-pro to me. I think he's going to have an all-pro year for sure. Interception on J.J. McCarthy. Prayers up to him. I know he went down with a meniscus and a knee injury. So we're not hoping for people's downfall and all that. And, people are like, yeah, we took one out. Who's next? Okay, that's cool. But, these are professional guys that work hard at their craft at the end of the day. And, I think that we should at least show the respect for that one. So, prayers up to him and speedy recovery. We want to see him back on his feet next season. Shout out to Daniel Kim. He says, best ability is availability, and you stack reps on reps to take advantage of the opportunity. Yeah, no doubt, man. And I think that's a perfect description of what's going on with DJ Glaze, is that every time he steps on the field as a one, he's given more and more of a reason to be like, yeah, this is the guy who's going to be a one. I don't think opening week one, he's going to be that starter. But if things don't go well with Munford, you can best believe that they're going to throw DJ Glaze out there as the number one, especially if he keeps impressing on practice and getting those good reps in. Let's see. Shout out to Big Heck, Big Mike. What up, my boy? What's going on, man? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. And shout out to the 50 people that's in the building right now. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. I went the wrong way. Sorry about that. My bad. All right. So let's talk about the preseason game this Saturday. Got the Cowboys. I'm hyped for the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys. I don't know about you guys. I'm so sick and tired of seeing all these, blue stars everywhere in my city in Los Angeles. I don't understand. First off, I don't understand why there's so many Cowboys fans in LA. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Yeah. So it blows my mind. I'm so sick of it. So every time we play the Cowboys, there's a level of hate that just brews in me. And I want to win this game. It's a preseason game. I get it. But I want to win this game. I definitely right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I definitely want to win this game, and I definitely want to. I want to win this game big. And to be honest with you, at the end of the day, I do want to see the whole team look good instead of just our first and second string. Now we saw last game, our third string guys, the guys that are on the bubble to make the roster, didn't look so great. And I think Anthony Brown's days are numbered. I think that at the end of the day, it's going to be Nathan Peterman. He's going to be our third string guy because they didn't even let our undrafted guy even throw a ball. So, he's probably not going to be around. Anthony Brown looked horrible in the pocket. He has no awareness on the right here. Okay. So, it's definitely he's got a lot to prove if he wants to stay on this team. But I think Nathan Peterman is going to eventually be the guy who keeps this job, man. Shout out to Big Heck. He says, hey, man, everybody in LA is a Raiders town. Rams, Chargers have nothing on the. We'll show that in week one when the Raiders take over SoFi once again. But we got to get a win in SoFi, man. We're like 0-6 or something like that in SoFi. We haven't won a game in LA in quite a while. We need to change that. Richie says hi, babe.
Oh,
Richard.
hi.
Yeah, Richard.
Oh,
Richinitas. Yeah, he said. She says, "What's up, bro?"
she
Uh,
can hear me.
oh, yeah. I don't know why. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, that offensive line was brutal in front of Anthony Brown. To be fair, yeah, and it wasn't just Anthony Brown's fault. Um, the whole offensive line, they look bad. The defense, I thought the defense looked a lot better than the offense. That's for sure. But yeah, everybody from, I don't know if it was like, it was mostly the offensive line. Anthony Brown just doesn't, I don't know, it's the awareness. It just wasn't there. It just seemed a little bit off to me. But I want to see a better outing from them. Got to have a better outing. And then just the offense to kind of continue where they left off, our starting to kind of continue do well against that Cowboys defense. Now, I don't know what it's going to look like. Are we going to go against ones or anything like that? But I would love to see us go down the field and score on that opening defense, on that first team defense. Shout out to Helen Siren. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the comment. California Dave in the building says Dalton Wagner is slower than Tyree, and that's slow. Yeah, if you're slower than Tyree Wilson these days, you must be slow. Shout out to Rich. He says, do you worry that defense will tire out late in games due to offensive struggles? Yeah. I mean, that's just in general, right? When you have a good defense and an offense that might potentially be bad, it's leaving the defense out there too many times, and then the defense kind of gets the brunt end of that, because they're giving up touchdowns, and then the statistics look bad. If you just look at statistics alone, you're looking at the numbers and being like, oh, you just have a bad defense, but not really taking in the context that, well, the offense didn't sustain drives, they were giving up turnovers in their own territory, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that's under the assumption that this offense isn't going to be decent. I think a lot of experts are selling the Raiders offense short. I think that we got a lot of weapons. The 12 personnel defense is going to have a lot of problems with our 2 tight ends, even our 3 tight ends. If we be in 13 personnel, they got to deal with the run game. They got to deal with a lot more than they think. Aiden O'Connell's going to be better than advertised. And if they get it all together, if they figure it all out and play turnover-free football, the defense can definitely hold it down and win in a lot of dogfights. I think that the Raiders have that dogfight mentality, and they're going to keep scores low, and they're going to keep them in the dirt, and they're going to keep them on the ground. And, yeah, so every time teams play the Raiders, you're going to have to bring your lunch pail, because it's not going to be a shootout by any means. It's going to be, first to 20 wins type of thing. So that's what I'm looking for with the Raiders. I think they're going to go 11-6 just based off, a solid run game, using the 12-13 personnel, creating those mismatches against defenses on offense, and then flip side on defense being advantageous and causing turnovers, giving short fields to the offense, and making things easier for offense. So I think that the Raiders are going to be a lot better than what people think, man. And that's not just me being a homer. I just based off of football knowledge and what I've seen in the past, this kind of recipe works. You saw it last year with the Cleveland Browns. They had a 40-year-old Joe Flacco. Now, he lit it up from time to time, but what they based themselves on was a strong defense and a sound run game. Now, their offensive weapons were decent, as far as receiver go. They have an Amari Cooper, but we have a Devontae Adams who's a lot better. So, if we can just at quarterback play have, efficient quarterback play, we can see ourselves in that same type of situation, going 11-6 and making the playoffs. So that's what I see, man. But shout out to you, bro. That was a good question. Shout out to Martin that's in the building. I think he's waving at me. We're waving at you, babe.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, babe, I got a question for you. So, what are you expecting from the offense? You saw the first team offense. They played well last game, right?
Yes.
What do you expect to see with this first team offense? You want to see more from Aiden O'Connell?
I had, like, based on all the news and all the buzz that was going around about how bad the offense was doing during camp, I had no high hopes to watch this preseason opener.
Yeah.
But I was pleasantly surprised, actually.
Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell, he definitely did his thing. It was a good long drive, but I don't know. I kind of like my football fast paced, so I kind of like what Minshew did, and just kind of like, hey, let's keep throwing it down the field.
More exciting. Yeah.
Yes, it's a little more exciting, but either way, like either style, I can't even think about like who I'd want to be our QB1. I just
As long as they get down the field and score, huh?
yes,
Yeah.
just win, baby.
Yeah. And you know what? That's a good point because we're like, all right, who's going to be our quarterback? Who's, and I'm personally rooting for Aiden O'Connell, right? You make a good point. But at the end of the day, we just want to win games, and whoever's going to put us in the right situation is the right guy. And you know what? I will say this, that Aiden O'Connell, it was more sustained, longer drive, which is, kind of puts you on your toes, kind of on the edge of your seat.
And it shows control of the game as well.
It shows control and poise. But Aiden O'Connell, he's more of that. I mean, Gardner Minshew, he's more of that guy that's going to, he's going to improvise a little bit. He's going to give you the exciting home run play. He doesn't have the biggest arm in the world, but he's definitely an improviser. So that makes it a more exciting type of offense for sure. I will give you that. But at the end of the day, like you said, just win, right? That's what we're going for. Shout out to Paul Edgerton. He says, do you think Dylan Lobby should have more reps with our starters this week? Yeah, I definitely do. I was disappointed with his reps that he was getting in the second half, and it wasn't his fault. It was just like they were put in situations where they couldn't utilize him. I want to see him come more out of the backfield and catch passes instead of kind of giving the ball on third and long situations in a draw play, and he's getting kind of garbage yards. That I threw a bold prediction out there before the beginning of the Vikings game that in this preseason, one of these preseason games, Lobby's going to go for 100 all-purpose yards. Now, if he's going to play with like third-string guys or get limited looks, then that might not actually happen. And then that makes me kind of worried if he's going to make this 53. Because we did see a lot from Amir Abdullah. We saw a lot from even guys like Sincere McCormick. We saw a lot from him. We saw Britton Brown, who we haven't seen in a while. So I need to see a little bit more from Lobby. I want to see it. I'm hoping the coaching staff kind of dials up some more stuff, or even put him in special team situations, have him returning kicks and returning punts. We got to have that dynamic weapon on the field because I think that he can do damage if he plays with starters for sure, man. Shout out to California Dave. He says, I'm not sold on him. Yeah, well, you have every right to feel that way. We didn't see much from him. So I'm a big fan of his, just coming from a small school, kind of overcoming the odds. And, I was some guy, that was a guy that I covered on the 30 Days, 30 Prospects, and I had him getting picked in the 6th round. So I'm kind of a fan. I'm kind of a big fan. I'm a little bit biased if you had to ask me about Dylan Lobby. So I'm wishing for his success, man. I really hope that he makes his team. And if not, good luck us trying to keep him on the practice squad because somebody will pick him up if he's not on this 53. So we got to be really careful if we're going to put him on the practice squad. We got to figure out a way to keep him reserved and not get picked up from somebody else. We saw that last season with Clinton Curtis. I was a big fan of his. He played guard, and we put him on the practice squad. He got picked up by the Seahawks. Same thing with Drake Thomas, linebacker, UDFA. I was a big fan of his. He played well in the preseason. They threw him on the practice squad, and the Seahawks picked him up as well. So, um, you know, shout out to California. He's like, oh, we know Mike. Yeah, yeah. I think I've been talking about Dylan Lobby all off season, man. I think I'm probably one of his biggest fans for sure.
He's the one you called on your prospects.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why you're favorite.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. I like his game for sure. But yeah, I want to be right most of the time too. So that's
yeah. Who does it? Who wants to be wrong?
I want to be right. So that's part of it too. Shout out to Paul Edgerton. He says DJ Turner is taking his chance well at the minute. Yeah, that's true. DJ Turner is definitely he showed up this camp, and it looks like he's gonna make this squad, and I'm happy for him too because he's been knocking on the door for quite a while. So if he does make the squad, that's good for him too. But we'll see, man. We got 2 more preseason games to figure that all out. Shout out to Richie. He says, how's JPJ been looking? So he finally got the red jersey on, limited practice yesterday. He's been out for most of the camp, and even in the summer, he's been out with an injury. So we're finally kind of getting him back. He was supposed to be slated as a starter at left guard for us, but it looks like there's going to be Cody Whitehair at left guard starter at the beginning of the season, while JPJ kind of gets acclimated to the offense and things like that. So, but in due time, we'll see JPJ out as a starter. From what I've heard and from what I've seen, dude's a dog. We just got to get him up to speed, and he'll be good to go. Shout out to California Dave. I think McCormick showed a little bit more than Lobby. Yeah, me too. He got more reps, that's for sure. That's for sure. He got more chances. MG's Raiders, can you tell me why JPJ is seen as a starter? Well, a lot of people compare him to what's his name? Richie Incognito, just that mean streak, a guy that loves football. I think he's more of a fan favorite, and a lot of people do want to see him succeed. But we've heard, in mini camp that he was playing well before he got injured. But you're right. If he's one of that's just riddled with injuries, that is a big red flag, and he has to earn it at the end of the day. So you're absolutely right. Can't assume that he's going to be the starter, but from what we've heard from in the summer mini camps and things like that, is that he's that dude. So when pads come on, we'll see what kind of dude he is, and we'll assess from there. But you're right. We can't automatically just assume that he's going to be the starter for sure. You're absolutely right. Shout out to Lonnie Thumbs. He says Gardner is scrappy. AOC should run no huddle, fast-paced offense, up-tempo Joe. Yeah. I would love to see more of a no huddle type of offense from Aiden O'Connell. I think he has the brains for it. Once he masters this offense, we can see more up-tempo type of things, and maybe we'll see that in due time. But it's going to take some time for sure. Shout out to California Dave. This undynamic kicking game is just lame. Yeah. And I was saying that a couple of weeks ago, that like the kickoff was more of like it was like the pageantry of the opening kickoff to a game gets you excited. Everybody kind of bouncing around, everybody on the line. It's more of like a front line charging in one direction. Everybody, just the symbolism behind it was very exciting. It made football. It was a good kickoff, no pun intended, to football. This whole dynamic kickoff thing, it's very anticlimactic. There's no build up or excitement to it. It's just the kicker standing there by himself. Everybody standing still till the guy gets the ball, and then everybody starts moving. It's very awkward. I don't like it. I hope they change.
It does look very weird.
Yeah, it's very awkward, right? It's like I don't like it. I don't like it.
No, but like we discussed too, like it places more skill on your kickers and your punters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to have a little more skill and control. You can't just boot it every time without any kind of skill to it.
Right.
That's the only thing I see like coming from that, is that you get better, I guess, skills on your kickers.
Yeah, it shows more skill with the kickers. It brings different strategy, because you can take the kicker out and put another, tackler out there, and he can kick the ball down the field as long as he can get it in that zone, Then it gives more action in the special teams. You're going to get more kickoff, things like that. So that is more exciting. It's more chances to score. It brings that third phase of football back, because we did lose the special teams aspect of football for a while because everything was going to the back of the end zone, so you weren't getting any action. So it brings that back just a little bit, but the pageantry of it, the whole buildup of it is taken away, and that's the part that I don't like about it. So, yeah, that needs to be changed for sure. Let me see. What else we got? Shout out to Lord Buddy Bear in the building. It says, is college going to change to the new lame kickoff? I hope not, man. I hope not, because that's one thing great about college is that we're going to still see that kickoff, though. The whole thing is going to be that's what I'm looking forward to, man, is seeing that whole kickoff, because that's the last bit of like that kickoff look that we have, the high school and college level and below that. But NFL, they took it away, so hopefully they change that. Shout out to Richie, says, say your piece, Mrs. Big Mike Raider. I hear you. Shout out to Mrs. Big Mike Raider. Thanks for joining me, hon. I appreciate it.
Thanks for driving me home.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So let me see. You want the camera on you or not?
No.
Okay.
No. They ain't ready for this.
Shout out to 60 of you guys in the building. I'm going to wrap this thing up shortly, man. Thanks for popping in. This is Riding with Big Mike, episode 3. We're going to do a lot more of this on a weekly basis, like I said. Shout out to Helen Siren. I hope I'm not butchering your name, but my apologies if I am. Byron Young is, I don't think he's big enough to stop the run. Yeah, we'll see. He's going to definitely make this squad this year. He's improved a lot. What I would like to see from him, I'm going to keep my eye on him against his in this Cowboys game. That's one person I'm going to really take a look at and see what he's bringing to the table. Another guy we didn't see last week is Tommy Eichenberg. I want to see Eichenberg. We didn't see him last week because he was out. So I want to see what he's going to bring to the table. Spillane looked sensational. I don't know if you saw, he put some dude flat on his back and on that blitz when Jack Jones got the interception. And it was because of Spillane. Spillane kind of caused that interception because he put that dude on his back and kind of had J.J. McCarthy with some happy feet. So he kind of forced the ball, and Jack Jones took advantage of it, man. If that's a sample of who we're going to see this season, I'm definitely excited, man. Shout out to MG's Raiders. It says Mrs. Big Mike Raider having some great takes. Hey, she spits that fire too, man.
Hey,
I'm telling you, she watches the games with me. We've been married almost 10 years. And, from day one, it was like, hey, I watch a lot of football. She liked football, but she wasn't into it as much as she is now, right?
Facts.
Like, I would break down like plays for her, like, hey, this is what we're looking at, this and that. So at this point, she can speak smartly than most people when it comes to the Raiders, man, believe it or not. So there you go, man. Shout out
up if you didn't mind me being on here.
Man, shout out to Helen Siren. I'm a big Nesta Jade fan. Yeah, I think he played well too. He's gonna definitely make it hard on some guys. I think Matthew Butler's days are numbered. A lot of guys, a lot of good defensive players are not gonna make this team. It is gonna be sad to see. Chris Smith is another one of those guys he's probably not gonna make this squad, but he's in his second year. He's still got some time to develop. But I think, a guy like Trey Taylor is going to be somebody they're going to roll with for here on out. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Shout out to Lord Buddy Bear. Any UDFAs impress you so far? You know what? UDFAs. You know what? I do like I don't know if he's a UDFA or not, but the guy that was returning the punts, McAllister, I thought he looked great. He has a chance to make this squad. You were saying that too in the game. Remember you said number 22, McAllister?
I did.
Yeah, he was.
did.
Yeah,
I was like, who's that?
yeah. Stuck out to me. I don't know if he's a UDFA, but he's not a familiar name. He's one of those surprise guys that can kind of sneak in and make the squad. We've been hearing about that UDFA from Tennessee, the wide receiver. I want to see a little bit more from him. But yeah, as far as like somebody that's really stuck out and really kind of made a big impact, not anybody yet. But after this Cowboys game, we'll get a better assessment on what's going on with them, man. But shout out to Lord Buddy Bear. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for the support. Van City Raider, the Canadian Destroyer in the building. What's going on, man? Good to see you. He was in Denver, draft choice McAllister. That's right. He was. He did come from Denver. I thought he was impressive. But we'll see, man. We'll see. But the wide receiver from Tennessee, the UDFA, I think he has the best chance. Oh, who? He's not a UDFA either, but another guy that I did like was Snowden. I think Snowden, the defensive end, he looked more impressive than Tyree Wilson to me. So the thing that sucks about that is that Tyree Wilson kind of has like a spot reserved, and a guy like Snowden might be on the outside looking in, unfortunately. But I think that Snowden looked really impressive, especially in that second half. He caused that fumble. He picked up the fumble, and that turned out to not be a fumble. I didn't know what happened with that, but yeah, I thought he looked impressive. That's one guy that I'm looking forward to. Shout out to Michael Smith? Is it too early to call Tyree Wilson 2.0 Cleveland Farrell? Man, ask me that question week 8, because if we don't see much of Tyree Wilson in the regular season, we don't see him on the field much, that'll tell the story. And I'll tell you for sure, if that's the case, if he's not on the field much, if we don't see much from him, the production is not there, he might be a 2.0 Cleveland Farrell for sure, man. I hate to say it, a more athletic Cleveland Farrell. That's the part that sucks about it the most. Shout out to Elmatic, that post-military beard though goals. Hey man, I told you, bro, this ain't going nowhere. I'm not shaving ever again.
He sold me. At first, I wasn't sure.
Oh yeah, I keep this thing moisturized, man. I got the beard oils. I got the lotion. Like, hey, we're doing it right. I line it up every other day and stuff, man. Like, trim it. Yeah, we're not looking nappy out here, man. We're doing it right. We're doing it right. Let me see. Correction, McAllister was UDFA from the Broncos in 2022. So technically, he is UDFA, but yeah, we're kind of both right? But shout out to you. Thanks for the correction. Van City goes, Tyree is too physically gifted to be a bust. Sorry. His frame alone is going to be enough to disrupt the middle of the pocket and let Kuntz and Max get home. You know what? If he can't get on the edge, I would like to see him play the 5 technique, or at least, see if he can move a little bit on the inside. He has the strength. He has the physicality. Now, if he has the strength to play on the inside, that's another question. But if you can't find room for him, you got to make somewhere. You got to make it somewhere where he can utilize some of his skills, even if you have to stand him up and be like kind of in a 2-point stance on the edge. Got to figure out some ways to make it to make him kind of utilize and see where he fits in, because you're right. His physicality and just what he brings to the table, it'd be such a big waste if he doesn't ever get on the field, man. That'd just be a terrible waste. Shout out to Richie, says beer game is strong, bro. I appreciate it, bro. Hey, I appreciate it. Raider Ryan says beer game's tight. Appreciate it. Delano Raiders, should we pick up another linebacker? Oh, man. I think we're set at linebacker. And I was impressed by Amari Burney, too. I think he played well. He did his thing. He was in a lot of tackles in that second half. I think he's trying to make a name for himself to make this squad. We didn't see much from Diablo. He had a couple of plays early on. Like we said, we haven't seen Eichenberg. Spillane was a dog. So I don't know if we necessarily need to pick up another linebacker. I think we're gonna be all right. I think we're gonna be all right. I don't think we need to pick up anybody else. The way at least linebacker. Maybe when towards the end of camp we kind of reassess our secondary to see like we want to add some depth to it because I think that MJ Devonshire might not be ready yet. He was a little bit of disappointment. The Cameron Richardson, we didn't see much from him. I hope he bounces back and sticks out a little bit more. So you might have to assess that situation and look at if we're going to bring in like an Adoree Jackson or somebody like that, just to kind of bolster that secondary and make us a lot stronger on defense. Shout out to T Severe in the building. Thanks for popping in, bro. Yeah, we got our show tomorrow. Actually, we might be getting on tonight to be recorded. I don't know. But Severe, let me know what's going on, bro. Shout out to Raider Paul. Salute to Top Beats. Yeah, Top Beats is the man. All right, man. Shout out to Van City. Says, I saw a picture today of Tommy freaking Eichenberg wearing a shirt that said ill intent, physicality, violence, and pain. It hit harder than a red-headed stepchild. Talking back to his outcome. Okay. I'm not gonna read the rest of that, man. But yeah, that's the theme of this year, man. I hope you guys seeing all this stuff that the media is saying, all the stuff that they're predicting. I saw Pro Football Focus had us at like the race for the #1 pick next year. They had us projected at 4-13, which is if we win 4 or less games, I will eat a bottle of water. I'll eat a whole bottle. There's no way.
Too?
I'll eat the plastic if we win 4 games. That just doesn't make any sense to me. 4 wins is they're just being disrespectful at this point. That's just outrageous. So I hope you guys are just as angry as I am. Carry yourselves in that manner, because this Raider team is going to be something special. And as soon as week 1 starts, from week 1 to whenever the season ends, I'm pissed off every Sunday, and I hope you guys feel the same way. Shout out to Lord Buddy Bear with the $2 haymaker. What position group outside quarterback is most concerning? That's a good question. I'm going to say the right tackle position really makes me concerned. Now I know that we have, kind of a battle going on with Thayer Munford and DJ Glaze. Now, DJ Glaze, like I said, he's improving day by day. But I don't want to be in a position where we throw him out there and he's not fully cooked. And especially if Thayer Munford is going to go down with injury, seems to be nicked up from here and there, like in camp. He had one hand injury and then he had the other hand injury. And it's small things, right? But, hopefully that's not a sign of bigger things down the line. So I would say the biggest concern for me is that right tackle position, because if Thayer Munford goes down, then it's going to be a rookie on that side. And that kind of concerns me just a little bit, especially if he's not quite ready, but we're forced to throw him out there. That makes me a little bit nervous. So yeah, I would say our right tackle position is probably the most concerning, man. And T Severe, man, thanks for the support, man. Summer is almost over. Get yourself right by clicking the link, menoforder.com. Guys, like I told you, menoforder.com, testosterone support, memory support, sleep aid, Apex, Flow. Go ahead and get yourself some good stuff, man. It's been good for me, man. Just to be a little bit transparent, my wife, the hand model right there. I promise it's an actual person. It's not just hands. But just a little bit transparent. In January, I was diagnosed with diabetes. That's why I was away from recording for a minute. It was more of a look myself in the mirror and be like, what do I have to do to kind of reassess what's going on in my life, diet, lifestyle. I was fresh off a back injury. I had some things going on health-wise. So I looked into the mirror. I was like, all right, I need to change the diet. I need to change my lifestyle. And, I started getting back in the gym. I started off with walking, doing just little light walks. And then I got some of this Men of Order, this testosterone support, memory support, and it's definitely boosted me. I've have the motivation to get into the gym. I'm in the gym 5 days a week now. I'm getting I'm getting some good size again. Hold on, there we go. Hold on. There you go. Get some good size again. So yeah. So for all the guys that are kind of in my similar situation, trying to make that comeback, trying to get back to your regular self again, go check out the testosterone support. It's all natural ingredients. It's all good stuff. And the cognitive support, good for memory and mood. And that's the flow right there. And the Apex right here, man. It's all good stuff, and it's stress relief stuff, and it's all natural ingredients. So go check out menoforder.com /BigMike Raider and get yourself right for all those people trying to make that comeback. Richie says buff Mike Raider. I'm trying to get there, bro. I'm trying to get there. But guys, let's finish the show off. We're almost an hour into this thing. We got 63 in the building. Thanks for popping in. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. So before we get out of here, let's get a score prediction for this game. I think the Raiders are gonna. It's a home opener, so kind of a home opener. Their first home game, even though it's preseason. I think they're gonna light up the scoreboard. I think the Raiders gonna look impressive in this game. I got the Raiders winning this game, 28-13. 28-13. What you think?
You know what? It's if we don't do the same thing, if we don't put in our third string in the second half, we actually could do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that the third string, if it's anything like an AP team, Antonio Pierce team, like I think they are, I think he's going to have an answer for that. I think the third string is going to come out with a little bit of chip on their shoulder with something to prove, and I think they are going to get on the board. Whether it's Anthony Brown, whether it's guy we just Nathan Peterman, one of those two guys, whoever's at the helm at the third string position, they're going to get those guys on the board. And I think they're going to show out for Raider Nation on Saturday. I got the Raiders winning 28-13. Guys, in the comments, let me hear the score. Let me see. Delano Raider says 28-17. Richie goes 20, Raiders 20, Cowboys. I
love that.
I like that. Paul Edgerton, 24-10 Raiders. Desert Raider, 21-18 Raiders. Raider Ryan, 28-17 Raiders. MG's Raiders, 24-12 Raiders. And Lord Buddy Bear goes Raiders 106-3.
Let's go.
Why not? Let's
go.
Shout out to Raider Smoke 89 with the $5 haymaker. Says I'm going through the same thing. Got to change my health for my kids. Health is wealth. Good to see I ain't the only one trying to make a change, man. Hey, Raider Smoke, man, go check out menoforder.com. Read up on it, man. If you don't believe me, it's all natural ingredients. It's testosterone support. It's not a booster. Everything in there is all natural, and it's changed my life, man. It's got me in the gym 5 days a week. I'm up at 4 in the morning. I pop up. I'm ready to go. My mood is changed a lot, man. You can ask my wife. She's right here. Things have really changed a lot for me with Men of Order, man. I highly recommend that for you if you want to, man. But good luck to you and your health journey, man. Because we got to be there for our kids, man. Because I got 3 of them, and I got to be there for as long as possible, man. So yeah, shout out to you, man. Thanks for the support, and go check out menoforder.com /BigMike Raider, man. It'll do you right, man. Shout out to Ronald Crokel. Don't care about the score. It's preseason. Fair enough. As long as you see the offense and defense, playing their potential and playing at a high level, I guess you're right. You're absolutely right. T Severe goes 28-24 Raiders. I think Trey Lance lays an egg, but Cooper Rush plays well. I can see that. I can definitely see that. People have said Cooper Rush at some point when when he was a starter and they went like 5-0 under him or something like that, Cooper Rush was playing better than Dak Prescott. Now I know that's kind of crazy to say, but he was playing more efficient. He was more coachable. That's what people argued. So I can definitely see Cooper Rush showing out in this game for sure. Shout out to Dwayne Thomas, Big Mike. Yet berberine, it works for diabetes and it's natural. Okay, berberine? Okay, I'm gonna look that up, man. I appreciate it. I'm trying to look for everything that's trying to lower that blood sugar. I've dropped pretty much almost all carbs, even though I had a slice of pizza today.
2 slices.
Hey, come on.
I'm telling on you.
I had 2 slices, but I haven't had carbs all week, man. But I'm doing my best to try to, get everything together as far as diet. And so far so good, man. But I still got a long way to go. Shout out to you. Thanks for the support, Dwayne Thomas. I'm gonna check that out for sure. And shout out to the 67 in the building. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Guys, I'm about to call it. I'm in the middle of traffic. I'm out here on PCH in Santa Monica, checking out the beach right here. And hey, hate to leave you guys hanging, but I'm gonna call it. Guys, we'll talk about it. I'm gonna try to get on Sunday. We'll talk about the aftermath of this Cowboys and Raiders game. Raiders win 28-13. You heard it here first. Shout out to MG's Raiders. The missus giving away your secrets, Big Mike. Yeah, she's about to tell it all, man.
If y'all didn't know, I'm a Navy recruiter, right? And recruiters have this bad rap for being absolute liars. I'm actually one of the most honest recruiters you're ever going to find. So sorry, I got to plug myself. If you guys know anyone at all that might be interested in changing their lives and having all the, the benefits that come with it, just like how the Navy really set Mike and myself up for the situation we have now, please hit him up. He'll get you in contact with me. Doesn't matter where you are. I'm just trying to help. And then, we're trying to start up little businesses here and there too. Sorry, shameless plug, honey. I'm sorry.
She totally hijacked my show.
I did.
Oh my God, man. Okay, here, I'm gonna put the camera.
No, we got to get all the likes first before I show myself. So,
man, hey, I appreciate you guys, man. 66 in the building. Thanks for the support. I'm gonna call it. I'll see you guys on Sunday, man. Enjoy the game. Be safe and have a good one. Peace. Hold on. We got to get you guys out of here the right way. Hold on. All right. Peace.
We're going with the guys that put in the time and commitment to do what we want to do over the next 6 months. And that's just do one thing and one thing only, win. And I want winners. Winners never stop working. Kick in the front door and let's get this bad boy rolling.
This is one of them hits now. Heard back from Earth, we just shot a few of my shits down. It's safe to say I'm totally pissed. Wow, my cloaking device is just malfunction. Guess it's time for a sit down. This is the problem I got with humans, mostly the common man. Constantly fucking with energy they don't understand. Always thinking they got the upper hand. The G-forces for my maneuvers can snap your spine like a rubber band. I shouldn't waste my time, they ain't half as nice. Put a Red Bull in your coffin so your ghost can have wings in the afterlife. That's why I roll like a belly dancer's rhinestone. It was my idea to shake the pineal gland like a pine cone. My thoughts create hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones. A punch for me is like an avalanche of granite and limestone. You live here, now this is my home. I neuralize both your retinas. You wake up staring at the screen of your iPhone. Confused by the light plus the high tone. And now we connected from the microchip I placed next to your thigh bone. It's hard to understand cause you're mind blown, but I gotta cut communication. Your government just scramble they spy